Am I wrong? Can we actually use AI to underwrite our real estate deals? Hey there, my name is Kyle Kurzhal, your go-to guy for AI and automations to help you buy back your time and grow your business. Mike Davis posted in the Sub2 community about how he's using deep research mode in OpenAI's ChatGPT to be able to do quick underwriting for his real estate deals. When I saw his post, I was immediately concerned because GPTs are not built to be able to handle mathematical calculations. And since that's the case, they actually wouldn't be able to underwrite your deals and give you reliable numbers. So although what he was doing was great for collecting some initial data, I thought it could be misleading to people and end up causing people to lose huge amounts of money on so-called deals. But here's what happened that actually changed my mind. My initial concerns were that this deep research mode in ChatGPT was not actually performing multiple steps to be able to break down and analyze a problem. And then on top of that, I wasn't convinced that it was actually calling code to be able to execute these calculations like you would do with a typical calculator. Now, much to my surprise, it sounds like this actually might not be true. First of all, I decided to test my claims by actually using ChatGPT's deep research mode to learn more about deep research mode. I asked it to tell me if deep research mode is actually using multi-step reasoning, or is it still using single-step reasoning like most AI models. The other thing I asked it about was what was the underlying model that was being used for deep research mode. If it were using older models, then I would have serious concerns that it wasn't using code to be able to produce reliable results with its calculations. As it turns out, yes, it does in fact perform multi-step reasoning. You can actually see this at work for yourself if, when you're using deep research mode, you click the button while it's running that allows you to see all of the details of what's happening behind the scenes. OpenAI also talks about this in the FAQ section about their deep research mode. Now, here's the key about it actually performing mathematical calculations. In that same FAQ, it says that they are using a fine-tuned version of the new O3 model. If you've been paying attention and noticed that they actually released this O3 model within the last couple of weeks to the public, you'll know that this model is actually fantastic for being able to perform mathematical analysis and executing code. Since these two things are true about ChatGPT's deep research mode, I actually think that you might be able to do underwriting with ChatGPT. But there are caveats to this that you need to be aware of to avoid shooting yourself in the foot. So first of all, it's actually critical that you use something like deep research mode or the O3 model. If you're not using these, then ChatGPT will not perform the multi-step reasoning that is necessary to be able to break down a problem, and it also won't be able to run code to be able to perform the calculations. The second thing that you should know is that you should be providing the mathematical formulas that you expect it to run during its underwriting process. You could just generically ask it to do the underwriting for you, but how in the world do you verify that it's actually running the calculations necessary unless you've told it upfront what it should be doing? Thirdly, there are still some concerns that I have about whether or not these models are going to be able to help you comp properly. Since comping is a critical part of the underwriting process, you need to be sure that these models can actually analyze the pictures from the subject property and also the pictures from the comparison properties that you are using as a reference point. Now, the O3 model is actually capable of analyzing images, but I just haven't had a chance to test how good it actually is. But it's not just the condition of the property that you need to worry about. You also need to be concerned about the distance of the comparison properties to the subject property. Typically, you'd start at about a half-a-mile radius from the subject property and then slowly work your way out to figure out what is actually a good comparison. But I don't believe that these models are going to be capable of figuring out what the proper distance is from the subject property, at least not without some additional tooling. After all, they don't currently have access directly to a map and the distance between different properties on that map. And then the final step is to actually verify that these calculations are correct. As exciting as this technology is, it's still very new, and it's possible that there could be mistakes. You don't want to risk thousands of dollars or your own reputation just because you didn't take the time to double check the work that the AI did for you. So can AI actually underwrite your real estate deals for you? I wouldn't say 100% yes, just because of the potential issues with comping, but I definitely think that we're headed in the right direction. All right, y'all, that's going to be it for today. As always, thank you for watching and take it easy.